A massive winter storm is set to wreak havoc across the United States, threatening to derail your Thanksgiving plans. An intense winter system is already battering the Midwest and Great Lakes as we speak. But what if I revealed that an even larger winter storm is trailing right behind this one? Expect a staggering 6 to 10 inches of snow throughout the Midwest, Great Lakes, and Ohio Valley in the coming days. This includes cities like Chicago, Milwaukee, and just south of Minneapolis, where some localized areas could see nearly 15 inches of snow. This weather pattern is going to create an active stretch with multiple storm systems colliding. Bursts of bitter early-season cold are crashing into a series of storms. How these elements line up will decide who faces heavy snowfall and who encounters fierce storms. So, in this forecast, we'll dissect precisely what you must know about this major winter storm that's poised to impact a significant portion of the United States right after the Thanksgiving holiday. There's plenty to cover in this forecast, including 3 distinct winter storms that could affect the USNs in the next 7 days. Let's dive into the first one, currently unfolding right now. A massive low-pressure system is centered over the Great Lakes and southern Canada. This system will continue to deliver heavy snowfall throughout the day today for Thanksgiving. The heaviest snow will blanket the upper peninsula of Michigan, as well as central and northwestern Michigan, where an additional 12 to 18 inches of snow is possible. As we move into the afternoon, expect lake-effect snow to pick up rapidly over Lake Erie and Lake Ontario, with snowfall rates shooting up to 3 inches per hour. A significant amount of snow will accumulate throughout the day today. Tonight, the snow won't be letting up much, except perhaps in the upper peninsula of Michigan, as heavy bands of lake-effect snow will persist across the Great Lakes. Tomorrow morning, the situation won't change, with bands of heavy snow continuing. Our lake-effect snow won't subside until late Friday night. By then, we'll be shifting our attention to the next winter storm developing over the central and northern plains. We'll explore the details of that one shortly. Now, regarding total snowfall accumulation from this lake-effect event over the next 48 hours, significant snowfall is expected. We're particularly focused on northern and central Michigan, the upper peninsula of Michigan, and extending into western New York, Pennsylvania, and northeast Ohio. Areas in these regions are projected to receive at least 6 to 12 inches of snowfall. Regions in the pink shade indicate where we could easily exceed 1 foot of snow. So, expect a lot of snow headed your way for both Thanksgiving and Black Friday. If you have any travel plans in these areas, especially around the Great Lakes, stay vigilant about the weather. To make matters worse, strong wind gusts are intensifying the lake-effect snow around this low-pressure system. Unfortunately, over 50, thousands of people are currently without power this morning across Wisconsin and Michigan due to the storm system, and that figure could keep increasing throughout the day. As we move into late Friday, Saturday and Sunday, a significant winter storm is poised to impact millions across the United States. This storm will likely throw a wrench in numerous travel plans. So, what does this mean for you? Let's dive into the details. By Friday night, a low-pressure system will be moving over the Rocky Mountains. This will greatly intensify the storm as we transition into Saturday, generating even more snowfall. Expect light to moderate snowfall extending from Montana through Iowa and Minnesota, plus some rainfall across the central and southern plains. Come early Saturday morning, this storm is set to rapidly strengthen across the Midwest. Notice the dark blue area over Iowa, Missouri, and stretching into Illinois and Nebraska. That's where we'll see heavy snowfall Saturday morning, with rates potentially exceeding 3 inches per hour, meaning a swift accumulation in this region. As we head into Saturday afternoon, the heavy snow will spread from central Nebraska all the way into western Ohio, just outside of Cincinnati. Isolated strong to severe storms could brew along the deep south and southern plains throughout Saturday. By the evening, heavy snowfall will cover Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, Illinois, and Indiana. The peak snowfall will hit central Illinois and central Indiana Saturday night, which could lead to significant travel headaches, particularly with forecasted totals exceeding 6 to 10 inches in many of these areas. For places like Iowa, this can trigger substantial travel disruptions. Remember, Saturday is a busy travel day, especially with Thanksgiving around the corner. As we approach Sunday morning, this storm will drift across the Great Lakes. Moderate to heavy snow will persist across the Great Lakes and the Northeast. Late Sunday into early Monday, moderate to heavy snow will persist in the Great Lakes and the Northeast. By late Sunday into early Monday, the snow will mostly exit the United States, paving the way for another major winter storm, projected to hit around Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week, from Oklahoma all the way to New England. We will delve deeper into this shortly. There's so much more to cover in today's forecast, including snowfall totals. But before that, let's take a moment to acknowledge the sponsor of today's video. Your health is just as important as the weather we monitor. I'll confess, I used to postpone doctor visits because I had no idea where to begin, who to trust, or how long I'd be on hold. Then I experienced one of those aha moments, realizing something was wrong and that I couldn't keep waiting to sort it out. I recall sitting there for days, convincing myself that nothing was amiss, even though the pain in my leg persisted. Deep down, I recognized something was off, but I loathed the thought of the hassle of finding the right doctor. That's precisely why today's forecast is brought to you by ZocDoc. ZocDoc is a free platform allowing you to search for and compare top-notch in-network doctors, helping you choose the right one for your needs. ZocDoc is a free platform that lets you find and compare top-quality in-network doctors, helping you select the perfect match for your needs. And click to quickly book your appointment. ZocDoc goes beyond just one type of care. They connect you with over 100,000 providers across nearly every specialty, from primary care to dental, eye care to urgent care, and even mental health. It's your all-in-one solution for healthcare needs. No more calling doctors' offices and being put on hold. ZocDoc lets you manage everything online. Once you find the doctor you need, you can check their actual appointment availability. Moreover, ZocDoc ensures you get appointments rapidly, usually within 24 to 72 hours after booking. You might even snag same-day appointments. Stop waiting and guessing, get the care you deserve. Visit ZocDoc.com/maxvelocity to discover and instantly book a top-rated doctor. That's ZocDoc.com/maxvelocity for immediate access to a highly rated physician today. A huge thanks to ZocDoc for sponsoring this video. Now, let's dive back into the forecast. Regarding total snowfall accumulation, this winter storm is set to deliver a significant amount of snow. We're anticipating widespread totals of 6 to 10 inches throughout southern Wisconsin, northern Illinois, including Chicago. Over near Des Moines, about 10 to 12 inches of snow could fall from this winter weather event, and Chicago is expected to see around 7 to 8 inches. This area is where my confidence is lower, specifically in Street Louis and central to northern Missouri. The model seems to be overpredicting the snowfall near our rain and snow line. I suspect total accumulations will be much lower in this region, likely closer to 3 to 6 inches, possibly 4 to 8 inches of snow. Regardless, plenty of snow is on its way for those areas. Back in Wisconsin, we're looking at a widespread 3 to 6 inches in the forecast. If you're closer to Milwaukee, you have a better chance of seeing upwards of 8 to 10 inches of snow. In regions like Michigan, Ohio, and Indiana, I would expect a general 3 to 6 inches of snow. However, the further west you are, the heavier the snow, as the low-pressure system will be stronger and slower moving. This should lead to even higher snowfall totals further back to the west. Across New York and Pennsylvania, we're primarily watching for an additional 3 to 6 inches of snow for most areas. Even then, many of you might not reach 6 inches. It'll likely be closer to 2 to 4 inches of snow. Still, this is a fantastic snowfall right before winter kicks off. Check out this graphic here, illustrating the likelihood of experiencing more than 6 inches of snow from now through Tuesday of next week. If you're in the red zone, there's at least a 90% chance of seeing over 6 inches of snow. Many areas will likely receive closer to 10 inches of snow, including Chicago and back over Des Moines and Davenport. Yet, notice how quickly the probabilities drop the further south you go. St. Louis has only about a 30 to 40% chance of seeing over 6 inches of snowfall. That's why I referred to that graphic a moment ago. The probabilities sharply decline the further south you go. St. Louis only has about a 30 to 40% chance of seeing over 6 inches of snowfall. This aligns with what I shared earlier regarding the graphic. This spans from Chicago all the way to Des Moines and Davenport. Keep in mind, though, that closer to St. Louis and over central Indiana, the chances of snowfall decrease significantly as you head south. In St. Louis, there's only about a 30 to 40% chance of accumulating over 6 inches of snow. That's why I shared that graphic earlier and mentioned this region may not experience what the models predict, which shows more than 12 inches of snowfall. That's because temperatures will likely hover right around or slightly above freezing for most of this snowfall event, resulting in significantly lower accumulations. Overall, the chances of a major winter storm hitting St. Louis are definitely slim. However, it's still a possibility in areas marked in red or orange, extending from central Iowa to northern Indiana and northwest Ohio. Now, let's dive into what's unfolding next week across the United States, as we're entering a weather pattern where numerous snowstorms are set to continue. The first one occurred over the last 24 hours. Another storm is on the horizon this weekend, and next week, we might even experience a significant winter storm, possibly a nor'easter. Here's what Monday morning looks like. Two distinct air masses are expected to collide, one moving in from the Rockies and moisture rising up from the Gulf. This is the key zone, our boundary between warm and cold air, where the storm system is likely to establish and track throughout Monday and Tuesday. By Monday night, the GFS model indicates snow from Oklahoma up to Michigan, Indiana, and potentially some sleet and freezing rain affecting Arkansas through Kentucky. It's important to note that this forecast is still about 5 days out, and specifics may shift significantly. So don't get too attached to the exact locations of snow and ice. Expect adjustments over the coming days. Just a heads up, particularly since a substantial storm system is set to move this weekend. This will likely alter both the track and intensity of the upcoming storm overall, but it's crucial to keep an eye on this because it's shaping up to be something we'll need to monitor closely next week. By Tuesday morning, the storm system should move rapidly northeast, possibly bringing snow and ice from Illinois to New England, while heavy rains and isolated severe weather could affect the southeast on Tuesday. Late Tuesday into early Wednesday, we could still see snowfall in New England and the Northeast. However, the exact intensity of this snowfall remains uncertain. Still, if this scenario plays out, we're looking at a significant northeastern event. We might also experience a widespread 6 to 12 inches of snow from Missouri all the way into New England between Monday and Wednesday. As we progress later into next week, additional rounds of snow are anticipated, but they're likely to be less impactful compared to what's expected at the start. Regardless, plenty of snow is coming, making for an explosive start to winter. Additionally, we need to address how frigid temperatures are about to sweep across the United States. For Thanksgiving Day, below-average temps are already stretching from the Midwest to the East Coast, with the coldest air settled in the Ohio Valley. Tonight into tomorrow, that chill will intensify along the East Coast. Even parts of Florida are expected to see low temperatures dipping into the 30s tomorrow morning. Brace yourself, because as Friday transitions into Saturday, a massive wave of cold air is set to sweep through the central and northern plains. A low-pressure system will traverse the Midwest and the Ohio Valley, ushering in frigid temperatures across these regions. This influx of cold air will pack more punch than what we're experiencing in the next 24 to 48 hours. Come Monday into Tuesday, prepare for the showdown. Our next storm system is poised to form right at this battleground, with freezing air hovering to the north and warmer conditions down south, creating ideal conditions for yet another winter storm Monday into Tuesday. As we move toward the middle and end of next week, uncertainty begins to creep in. However, I anticipate a marked decrease in the likelihood of significant winter storms as we wrap up that first week of December. Now, let's dive into today's high temperatures. Happy Thanksgiving yet again. We're looking at temperatures in the 20s and teens across the northern plains and the Midwest, while the Southeast enjoys significantly milder weather from Kansas. Tomorrow morning, Black Friday will greet us with widespread freezing from Georgia through Alabama and Mississippi, extending all the way to the northern plains, where single-digit temperatures will prevail in many spots across the northern plains and upper Midwest. Expect wind chills to dip below zero, so bundle up if you have outdoor plans for Black Friday. And don't forget, your safety comes first. Thanks for tuning into today's forecast. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button below. We'll likely be streaming live for winter storm coverage all day on Saturday, so make sure to subscribe and activate the bell icon to stay in the loop when we go live. A big shout out to Zach for sponsoring today's forecast. I'm truly grateful for all the fantastic sponsors on this channel. Check them out through the top link in the description below. Be sure to show them some love as well.